Don't forget, double demerits apply from midnight tonight until midnight Monday for drink and drug driving, not wearing a seatbelt or running a red light. Get caught and you could lose your licence twice as fast. The unbeaten East Perth Football Club's Hamish Brayshaw is in the studio.
Shock to many.
It is a shock to many.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but privately in conversations, Goss and I have written East Perth off.
Yeah.
While our sides,
lost a lot of players.
Our sides were going to
two.
Two of your best three.
Yeah, they were two very good players. That's fair.
When you lose your two or three best in the waffle, it hurts.
It certainly does, yeah. And we've had to tinker a few things, and we're a different looking side. But, yeah, our draw's been favourable to start.
Oh, that's insulting.
Yeah, but no, we got a massive test this Friday night. Under lights too. The lights are up and about. Yeah, geez, they looked good yesterday. Trained under lights, felt really good.
The Oval's
good now. Yeah, it's great. I'm really happy with the setup. There was some teething issues, but it's good.
Hello, someone's got to you.
Yeah, you. No, we're good.
You're playing Claremont.
Yeah, big game.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
They are so good.
They are very
They're
good.
my team, right? They are. They pay.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
And pay well and lock us in a long time in advance too.
Yep.
So if anyone wants Goss and I on the first Friday in September, unavailable. But
They are
Cleveland's your team.
Hey, it is a big round of footy. You're on top of the ladder. Swans bringing up the tail. So too West Coast and Peeler down the bottom, which is a bit of a surprise. Hey, do you want to play this? This is your brother, Andrew. I know we use you as a link to your brother, but he's a newsmaker. He was with Patrick Cripps last night on AFL 360 talking about the state of origin football.
Yeah, I would love to play in a State of Origin game. I think definitely would love to pull it on, and I think there's a lot of players in the AFL that would love to.
Would it mean something to you?
Yeah, I'd love to play. For that reason, you might never get the chance to represent your state, and I think in juniors, like under 15s, 16s, 18s, I've got some of my best mates still from those days, and you go away together, you have a bit of a camp, and there's the pride of your home state, and for both of us who play, in different states, I think it would mean a lot. And I think at the Captain's Day when we chatted about it, it was an overwhelming yes from everyone, and I think there's a bit of a gap now in the program where we can have it, like that mid-Feb sort of slot. We're doing sort of intra-club matches anyway, so everyone says, there's a high risk, but we're playing games anyway, so every time you train, there's risk.
So there's so many elements to pull out of that.
Yep.
One, who would Andy play for?
Well, he's born in South Australia.
Okay, so we've got to clarify this. So South Australian born.
South Australian born, yep. Moved to Victoria when he was about 8 months old.
Right.
Maybe not even.
Yep.
Lived in Victoria for 18 years.
Played all his junior footy there.
All his junior footy there, yeah.
Yep.
And now plays and has lived in Perth for the last 7 years.
Played his first senior game of any description.
Yep.
He plays for Victoria then. I'm
The rules are not clear. I don't understand the rules.
Well, I just think, does he consider himself a Victorian?
I think he considers himself a Crow eater.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's outstanding then.
I think he's a South Australian.
So where I was born?
Well,
Born in
yeah.
South Australia.
That is a twist in the tail of it all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because who would they play? They'd play the Allies or something, South Australia. Because it would be WA and Victoria, because they're the powerhouses.
Well, that's where the game's been,
It was
supplied.
morphed. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Leon Larkin.
So he considers himself South Australian.
Well, I think he does.
Where were you born?
I was born in South Australia too.
And how old were you when you left?
Angus and Will were both Perth at WA. Andrew and I are both SA. I was 2 when we left.
Yeah, Angus and Will go. They got a kick. Angus goes, all right.
There you go. Used to.
So you're South Australian?
Yep. But I consider myself a Western Australian now because I'm never leaving. Andrew will, at the end of his career, potentially want to raise a family.
Careful. So what are you saying?
Will he finish his career in
Yeah,
Melbourne?
no, he certainly will finish his career in Perth.
Is his bride a Victorian?
Yes. She could have been born in South Australia, I don't know.
She could be a Tasmanian. And there's another element into that grab, and we've touched on it earlier with Scotty, but he does say, have a listen to the very start. So Andy speaks, the first couple of words that come out of Patrick Cripps' mouth. Have a listen.
Yeah, I would love to play in a State of Origin game. I think definitely would love to pull it on, and I think there's a lot of players in the AFL that would love to.
Would it mean something to you?
Yeah, I'd love to play. For that reason, you might never get the chance to represent your state.
Bang. You might not get a chance to play for your state. My belief is that if Carlton continue on their current and West Coast go, we need some serious on-field leadership, that they go and make a pitch for Patrick
Patrick
Cripps
Cripps.
to finish playing for WA. He's a West Coast Eagles rusted-on supporter.
Yep.
He wants to get back to WA, like you talked about Andy going back to Victoria at the end of his career. Cripps can't get out of Victoria quick enough, my mates. He wants to get back. His wife wants to get back. Family is all here. So I think this is the word might suggests.
Well, you know my stance. I don't think no chance in hell he's not wearing anything other than a Carlton jumper for the rest of his career.
I tend to agree. He does not strike me as a disloyal operator.
That's not being disloyal. He's been disloyal. His body is getting to Fife proportions by carrying a team for as long as they have with little success.
Yeah.
He's only had a 38% winning record, and that's not his fault.
What's he going to come to West Coast and get that better?
It's not about that. It's about
What's he
a
gonna have to
role
do?
change. It's about leaving his mark
Yes.
and maybe assisting in the refocus. I'm not going over this whole ground. I've been smashed on social media. for this.
I know. But let's
right.
talk about it again.
Well, I just think it's as much as it's left field. I suggest that for his ticking the bucket list of his football journey to play for his team, it'll be like Sam Kerr coming back playing AFLW for the West Coast Eagles. She will do that before her sporting career is over. Patrick Cripps could play at West Coast before his career is over.
I've had my say, Hammer.
Yep, I don't.
You go.
I disagree. I think Patrick Cripps will play for Carlton until his body just collapses.
I'll tell you right now, if it does happen, I'm going to ground because I've hosed him for it. You need to disappear because we will not hear the end of
I
it.
was disappointed in Jared and Gary last night. They didn't ask because they know. They know.
They know you floated that
They
2
knew
weeks
I
ago.
floated that. I said, you could have easily, is there any, he's not going to come out and say it, is he? But hey, until I hear differently. Now, you're very angry on your...
If you're mini, you're going over and
Oh yeah, you're having a
having
coffee
with
yeah.
him.
God, yeah, you are.
Hey, I've got another one for you, and we touched on this a bit earlier too. You know this bloke.
Yep.
If you were out to ruffle the feathers of Hawthorn,
Yep.
would you not make a massive pitch for Adrian Hickmott? Would you not go after him? My mail is that Adrian Hickmott is the next haven't coached an AFL team in waiting.
Yep.
The mail is he is enormous, and his knowledge, his leadership, his mentorship, his love of his playing group is extreme, and they believe that he is a very, very smart coach. You could actually go and there's going to be a lot of coaching moves in the next 2 years.
Yeah. Well, he left West Coast because he didn't like the joint, didn't he? Wasn't that the whole reason he left? Why would he come back?
He's Victorian.
Not talking about West Coast. I'm talking about any team.
You just said if you're West Coast.
No, I said if you were. Did I say?
If you wanted to ruffle the feathers
Oh,
of
yeah.
Hawthorn.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
I thought
that
you
could be
were
any club.
talking about
Any
West
club.
Coast.
Any club. And you're saying, okay, Hawthorn, gloves are off. You're making
Yeah.
no secret of it.
Yep.
You go and
Throw the house at Hick.
correct.
Yeah, I would. Certainly.
I only know him as a development coach. So I
He was
know
at Swans, was he not?
Yeah, we got him over, gave him an opportunity. And
Coached
then
the Colts.
Yeah, and then he left.
Yep.
Didn't even say goodbye. Not dirty on it. And I know him as a really, really good
There's a
development
lot of people
coach.
that leave Swans and don't say goodbye.
He
But he was the Colts coach, and then went back into development, and he's really, really good with the younger guys, and
Yeah.
really good developer. But
He's
I'm
a
assuming-
genuine psycho, a genuine psychopath. He's just you think of a typical football coach, and he is so far from it. But he's so knowledgeable. He connects so well and so quickly with his players too, and he just gets the best out of everyone that he works with. Is what I've seen in my time. But I remember there was a game we played. He was the waffle coach for the start of 2020 in the preseason before COVID hit and we couldn't play. And we played a practice game at East Freo where his pre-game address was telling us to not try too hard. And it was just like, it was like he was using a surfing analogy where he was like, he went for a surf that morning and he was trying to do a cutback and he said, if I tried 10 out of 10, I'd always fall off. But if I found that sweet spot of about a 7.5 or 8 out of 10, I'd just nail it and glide perfectly. So he goes, go out there and just give it an 8 out of 10. And Fraser McInnes was our captain. And he brought us in. When he ran out, he brought us into a huddle. Boys, quickly, stuff everything you're just doing there. Give it everything. But he's an eclectic guy. He's very funny. And then he just quickly turns to smart and serious. And he's very, very good. And I think Hawthorn does fit him perfectly. But if you were looking at a coach, especially if you're a struggling team that's looking to develop a young group,
Does that fit young blokes' mentality now?
yeah,
Is he
absolutely does.
Because a lot of time those sort of coaches can turn nasty too. Has he got nasty in him?
He does have nasty in him, but the thing that I think young players connect so well with him, and the fact that he can gravitate to him, is because he connects with you so quickly.
Yep.
It's like
And you can handle
you can handle it because
direct
you've got
feedback.
a really good relationship with him, and it doesn't take very long, and it's like bang, you're away.
Yeah.
And so I think it's I'd be
Well, let's get on the hick train.
ruffle some feathers. It'd be certainly something to ruffle them.
Your team, North Melbourne, if they don't keep going with Clarko, I think they will persist with Clarkson. I think they've got to be careful they don't just go from coach to coach to coach. But if Clarko says enough's enough and the group is so young, would Hickmont be a nice fit?
Yeah,
For the age?
Yeah, I think he'd be a great fit. I would hope that we persist with Clarko because he's one of the best coaches to ever do it, and I think he's.
Is he a rebuilding coach, though? Are we seeing signs of where it's not quite gelling with the young group? He's been there 3 years.
Yeah, but
He's been there too, really.
leave him at the
His
helm.
first year, he took a lot of time off.
Yeah, that movie. Have you seen the movie Ford? You seen that movie? Have you?
I don't do movies.
Oh, actually, yeah. Gosh, they're building Shelby's. Shelby's building the GT,
Yeah.
whatever the hell the car is.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon.
There's too much time on your hands to watch movies.
And they tinker with it. It needs to get better. There's some airflow issues here, there. All of a sudden, it's the best car and it wins. That's North at the moment. They've got all the pieces, but
Ford
they just
versus
need
Ferrari.
Yep, they need to just get it in the right spot because they've got all the pieces to a really good puzzle.
6 days today. 6 days
What about it?
since the WAFL have posted anything on their website about footy. Really? Last one was April 10, Ken Hunter.
It's been 6 days. Didn't we have a weekend of football just gone?
Yeah.
Got the scores.
Oh well, they posted that. Did they?
Any interviews after the games or anything?
There's just nothing, mate.
Young guys coming through.
Mate,
I think
April 1, about Craig White. Waffle season preview, April 3. Go to click on news. Sorry, I know you're a waffle man. You've got to speak up, you blokes. Return home for Refresh Rotham, April 10.
no.
Claremont champion status, April 10. Ken Hunter.
I did some
6 days.
I did some investigation
hang on.
yesterday.
Here we go.
And what's happening is that the Waffle have subbied out their social media and their information to Swan Districts. And Swan Districts don't want to put anything on there. So that's what's happened. It's a little subcontractor type deal. And we're refusing to talk about it.
And this is not going at the
Should we
people who
win?
work there. This is if they need more people, go and employ people to work on there. And this is, everyone keeps saying that. We had this conversation yesterday, Hammer. Everyone says, they post plenty on Facebook. But not everyone's on social media Facebook. This is a website. This is your figurehead. This is Sullivan Logistics. This is Kia. These are all your sponsors' products. These are live and free and everything else that goes with it. There's nothing.
I don't hate it at the moment. So there's nothing on there I want to read. Gossip.
Get to posting, Waffle. Come on.
Exactly 6 days.
Yeah, that seems a bit silly.
Exactly right. Anyway, we're going to take a break and come back, and we're going to get your tips because, wow, they're on fire, your tips.
I feel like I've been all right.
Yeah, you've been very, very good. You've been very good. Hamish Brayshaw is in the Hot Honey range. It's dropped at Macca's for a limited time only. Embrace the drip with the Hot Honey McCrispy, McSpicy and dipping sauce.
Hey, can I ask you a question from yesterday? Just quickly, real quickly.
Yeah, real quick.
We'll start it later.
Scotty, you wanted to end the last segment with a bit of a question with Hamish. What would you like to run with this time?
I asked you a question yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And didn't get it. I was expecting a lot more.
Didn't get the reception you were after.
Well, I was expecting more.
Okay.
If you had a
I'll give this
chance.
plenty. I'll give this plenty.
Yeah, at Fremantle.
Yep.
And you got to swap Caleb Sarong for Nick Dacos, would you do it?
What a great question.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Okay, can I give you some fuel for it, okay, before you answer it? Have a think about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking really hard about
So
this.
Scotty does power rankings,
Yeah.
right? And it's based on
Everyone
impact.
knows, mate. Everyone knows
Yeah.
about him.
I
Is
think
Paddy
they do.
Cripps still 2?
No, he's 3 now. He's on the slide.
But he's got Nick Dacos 1,
Yep.
which is, okay,
Fair.
but he's got Caleb Sarong 8. And there's and so far this year, and I went numbers.
Yep.
And I did some digging yesterday, and the numbers just do not stack up for that disparity. It's just Caleb Sarong is basically, apart from kicking efficiency where they're separated by 2%, Caleb Sarong is virtually ahead of everything that Nick Dacos does.
Doesn't look as flashy.
Or
Doesn't play for Collingwood?
Or have the impact.
Or doesn't play for Collingwood?
He certainly has. He certainly has the impact.
Does have the impact.
What does it have
on
to do with it?
Dacos. I said that.
What does it have? What?
That has nothing to do with
Oh,
it.
it doesn't.
Nah.
He has had the impact this year that not. I think Nick Dacos is a better footballer, but I think Caleb's had as much impact as Nick has this year.
One's 8 and one's 1 in the rankings.
I would say if I'm Fremantle, I'm keeping Sarong. The reason being is I think that what Dacos does is the unbelievable running, unbelievable skill and polish with the football, and unbelievable decision making. I think Caleb is. Nick's also a very good clearance player, but Caleb's ability to get hand to foot and just surge clearance and win a gritty ball is, I think, above Nick's. And what Nick beats Caleb in, I think Andrew and Hayden can make up for, and they work better as a 3 than if you were to slot Nick in. And
I think
be
the
a
other way
part of that
around.
3.
I think the other
Do
way
ya?
around is I think that Andy and Young can cover for what Caleb's doing, and Dacos is the cream on the outside of it.
Do you reckon?
Well,
So-
keep in mind too, Nick Dacos I think was first or second in contested ball last
yeah,
year.
The myth that he doesn't win his own football is a ridiculous joke.
And he's the best 30-metre kicker there is in the competition.
He's a tool.
This is Brayshaw and Cripps talking about the hardest runners in footy on 360 last night.
I'd probably say Tuke Miller. We used to call him the Terminator. He just was always running, whether it was defensively, offensively. Felt like he never got tired, so he'd probably be the hardest, I reckon.
Yeah, Took can run. Walshy's up there, like I'm just thinking off the top of my... He's just like, he's a psycho at training, the way he comes around. Like, he's an absolute menace, so...
Yeah, well, Andrew was in the conversation, so he wouldn't say him. So Andrew is...
Oh, I think Andy.
There is no one. Ed Langdon is the best runner, but he plays for a horrible team, and no one notices that he just doesn't stop and doesn't come off the ground.
Sharp's the same. Sharp's
Yep.
the Fremantle. He just runs up. and
There
down.
is no better two-way runner in the comp than Andrew.
Nice work.
Without question.
I love that. I mentioned that. I reckon it was 2 weeks ago. The last 2 calls were that he is one of the best gut runners in the competition.
Yep, no question about it. And he would be too proud to say that himself, and he's not
Imagine
going to
that,
bring...
imagine
Yeah,
that.
me. Probably me, actually.
Me?
Yeah, I reckon me.
Me?
No question
Boy,
it's him.
am I impressed.
Goss is looking at us going, well, wouldn't you? Why
I have
wouldn't you say
no
that?
problem saying if I'm the best at something.
Yeah, you always do.
Hey, absolutely.
You have to
I am
be, yeah.
footy royalty. Thank you. I'm the guru. And I know my hoops. I'm Mr. Wildcat. Not anymore that my mate Bryce has gone. Can take his tracksuit. Alrighty. Now, we are live on air, and Hamish Brayshaw is in the studio. But
Where am I at with my tipping as well? Because you're about to get there, are we?
No, shortly. I just want to know, just can you give us a condensed version of your anger last night on your podcast?
Oh, just
So, anger about that the AFL dined out on the aeroplane
didn't they?
theme.
What?
Ken Hinkley was fined 20 grand for the aeroplane and going
Yep,
on the
yep,
ground
yep, yep.
And whatever. We know that. It was built up. It was the last game of the round.
Yep.
It was all about the rivalry. Yet cameras showed them ad nauseum.
Everywhere, yep.
Yet the previous week when Harley got fined $1,000
Yep.
for doing a single bird, a little bird.
Yep.
It wasn't a double bird. It was a little bird, which is
yeah.
very hard to see.
Yep.
He gets fined, and you take it. Can you take it to the bank that you received or have information that the broadcasters were categorically told, do not put the cameras on the crowd when the bird goes up at the 9-minute mark?
Well, I don't have that information, but watching the footage back, yes, the cameras did not show that at all. And I was at the ground. There was about 15,000 middle fingers in the air, which is enough to warrant. Have a look. What's going on in the crowd? Nothing. So it was a clear directive. Don't show that. But what I was angry about was like just a hypocrisy from the AFL to say you can't do that. And look, to be fair, Ken Hinkley's a grown man having a go at a young kid on after
it doesn't matter. No,
after
you're out in
they've
the
just
field
won.
battle, mate. Don't care.
After you've just won. So I can get them having a bit of a go at each other. $20,000 fine is stupid. Like,
But then you can't turn around
correct.
and use it as your marketing
$20,000 fine, first of all, is just a ridiculous amount of money to pay for an act like that. It's way too much.
which is 35, 40 grand you got to make.
Yep. And like you think about that, that's like half an annual salary for an average Australian. And they've just said, for putting your arms up like a plane, here's 20,000. Anyway, that's one. Two, you have then said we don't condone this action, and then when asked in an interview, we're not going to use this as fuel for the next time they play each other. He said, we're not going to run with that narrative. Okay, Andrew Dillon, of course you're not. for then the whole gather round to be pitched around, this is the last game. We're going to have every single promotion being arms up, get your popcorn ready. They put the photo up on the Instagram with the Hawthorn makeshift board with a plane written on there. It was like you're so clearly having this as your cornerstone. You're making millions of dollars and the clubs don't get any of it. Millions of dollars for the AFL through this gather round. That's you've pitched that game as this is the key. And like you do the scheduling, the AFL do the fixturing. Of course, they're going to put this game as the centrepiece. But if you didn't condone that action, you'd play Port Adelaide versus Freo, and you'd play Hawthorn versus Essendon. You just go, well, you guys go and do your own thing, and we're just going to play. We're not going to give this any airtime. But you gave it all the airtime in the world, and it's a ridiculous joke, and you should give Ken his 20,000 back. That's my anger.
No,
at the
I
AFL.
liked it. Versus. Rightio, your tips. Yes. All righty, the game starts Thursday.
Joe Brennan Cox said that last night. Yeah, she said we versed them in the pre-season. Oh, I just punched me telly. He's a great man. Dirty bludger. He's a great man.
Oh, English grows as the years go on, Tim.
No, it doesn't. Mate. It doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
It actually does.
Does not.
It certainly does.
You know why it changes?
Because people just grow up.
Numbnut school teachers are your age in schools, and they've now been converted to saying it, and they're now indoctrinating the children of today who'll grow up and say verse.
Get your quill, get your quill and get your ink and quill back out. Get your parchment, roll your parchment out.
You've turned on teachers, possibly the hardest gig in the world at the moment.
Yeah,
you've turned on teachers. Oh.
Are they on holidays again?
Yeah.
They wouldn't be listening. They'd be asleep or they'd be off somewhere. They'd be in Bali because that's the quality of the schools, the quality of holidays they go to. Rightio.
Oh, Tim.
You're on your own.
I'm only
You're
joking.
man on your own.
But you can't. Don't get me started on verse. Rightio. How did you tip last week? I think you tipped pretty well.
I forget.
North Melbourne, you tipped though.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah.
No, not against Gold Coast. No, I absolutely tipped the Gold Coast Suns.
We'll go to the tape.
Yeah, go to the tape. I definitely tipped North against Sydney, but I'm certain I tipped Gold Coast against North.
That made sense. Rightio.
Did at the time.
Starts Thursday night. It is up at the Wollongabba. For those who don't know, that's a suburb. Wollongabba. It's where it's going to get the Gabba from.
CBD.
So it's Wollongabba, and it used to be a greyhound track.
Yes, it did.
It used to be the cricket ground. They used to walk over the greyhound track
Terrific.
to go onto the pitch.
They're playing at the Gabba.
All right. Brisbane take on Collingwood.
Brisbane. I really, really like Collingwood. I think they're flying, but Brisbane just haven't lost, and I can't tip against them until they lose.
Yeah. I think Geordie's back too.
Is he? Geez, they're good.
I think Geordie's back.
It hurts to say how good Collingwood are, but Brisbane will win.
North Melbourne take on Carlton Friday. It's the early game of the two on Good Friday.
Massive.
Yes.
And you'll take this one in before going to
I will
game?
watch this one, and I'll be supporting my boners, and they will win. They will win. Carlton played on the weekend for 14 witches' hats.
Yes.
And 8 blokes that actually forgot that football was on.
We heard that there was
many.
We got mail that there was a 2-hour leadership meeting at West Coast.
Was there really?
2 hours.
Bloody hell, I'll have to inquire about it.
They was actually trying to figure out who the leaders are. That's what they were doing. Is it you? Is it me?
Some of the other leaders weren't available. They were babysitting because they had to look after the kids in school holidays. But the ones who were available were at the meeting.
It's well, Carlton played nobody on the weekend, and North Melbourne will win this game.
West Coast, Essendon.
Essendon by 1,000 points. Don't care. Nick, they're just going to win by a lot. Zach Merritt might break the record this weekend for the most touches of football in a game ever.
Nick Martin joins us before 8.
Oh, there you go.
Melbourne, Fremantle, MCG. Fremantle have gone straight from Adelaide
to Melbourne.
Yeah. What is that?
Don't know. Come home, have a week, then go over.
What is that?
Don't know. I'm not sure, but I think they'll win still. Melbourne are rubbish. How bad are they?
And a couple of injury concerns at Melbourne.
Yep, and Cozzy Pickett's just signed with Van der Wielen.
Yes, changed managers. Anthony Van der Wielen. Wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
is he connected with Tim Kelly and Shea Bolton?
Must be.
Van der Wielen coach is their manager, isn't he? Yeah, I thought so. All right, maybe Tim Kelly's going down there too. Adelaide GWS, Adelaide Oval.
That's 3
playing for Peel.
He'll be back this week. Adelaide GWS, Adelaide Oval, Saturday. Gee, Adelaide get a good run. They just camp at home. They don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I think GWS will win this. I think Adelaide's defence is shaky. GWS's forward line are very good, and Adelaide's biggest weapon are their forwards, and GWS have got the best defensive duo in the comp.
Nice work. Richmond, Gold Coast. This is at Marvell on Saturday night.
I think this could be a 140-point win for the Gold Coast Suns. 140 is my margin.
Sydney, Port Adelaide, Sydney Cricket Ground. It is a 3:20 start, so we know the history of Sydney in the day. They struggle early.
Yep, they do.
But the lights will kick in after half
And then
time.
they'll fire back.
That's 5:20 that time.
3:20.
3:20.
3:20 their
hours.
time.
120 hours.
120 our time.
Gotcha.
That's good. I think.
Interesting.
Not really. We're just 2 hours behind them.
I think
It's not that interesting.
I think Sydney will win. Sydney will win.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide had their grand final on the weekend and just revved themselves up for
Yeah.
it. But they're still rubbish.
2 games of the round. Bulldogs versus St Kilda, Sunday night, Marvell.
It's a tough one too.
I tell you what, I like the Sainers. Where's Wanganeen Miller in your power
They're
rankings?
not
Is he in
quite
there?
there yet. No, not even on the watch list.
Not quite there
Just-
yet.
hey, listen.
Averaging 26 in a goal off
I
half
know.
back.
What he didn't tell you, I said that there might be sweeping changes after a 6-week block.
Paddy Cripps is in there still for a team that's 1-4.
I know, and coming
who's
back to
averaged
WA, he's walking
16
out on
touches. He's had 16 touches 3 weeks in a row
Exactly.
and had
Yeah.
23 and 3 against the worst team of all
He
time
got coaches' votes, you know.
this weekend.
Coaches' votes. He kicked 3 goals, he got coaches' votes.
He had 23 and kicked 3 goals, 3. Could have kicked 6. But he played nobody. And Wanganeen Miller is the only reason that St Kilda are good.
Geelong Hawthorn MCG
Saints win, by the
Monday.
way. Saints win and Hawthorn bounce back.
Jack Sinclair goes it right too.
Oh, yeah, Wanganeen Miller is better at the
Yeah,
moment.
he's better. He's better.
How is he on your
Look at
power
you.
ranking?
Look at you. Mate, power rankings are who's going to be the most influential
Oh,
and the
he's
best players
won
by the end of the season.
Saints are
By the
relevant
end of the
because of him.
season.
Brisbane, North, Essendon, Fremantle, GWS,
have to
Gold
pick that
Coast,
apart.
Sydney, St
I know,
Kilda,
don't you
Hawthorn.
don't.
Thanks for coming in.
Always a
Good
pleasure.
luck, Good Friday.
Thank you.
Okay, good luck,
Against
Good
your
Friday.
mob.
Here's your mum, Claremont.
Yeah, go the Tigers.
He's just
Scotty Goss. Thanks to Hamish Brayshaw for coming in. Double demerits, Hamish. Demerits from midnight tonight until midnight Monday for drink and drug driving, not wearing a seatbelt or running a red light. Get caught and you could lose your licence twice as fast. Coming up, Nick Martin from Essendon.